Hey folks, welcome to the channel, and in this case doing something that borders the line of obsessive compulsive behavior, but hell, you're here so you may be like me as well. In this case, talking about duct tape and the typical thing of, well, a little bit of duct tape rolled around a lighter. You have the lighter, you have the duct tape, we've been doing this for a million years, and it always comes in handy. Now, to be honest, many times I find myself stripping a smaller amount of tape. I rarely have used a big chunk of it, maybe every once in a while, but I've never ran out of the tape that I have in a lighter if I used it. It was also always kind of like a minor thing, a minor repair, right? Now, given my obsession with this thing and the idea of finding the best tape and the most versatility, I've dabbled into a number of different tapes, right? From your basic cheap stuff to your a little bit of a nicer 3M stuff or Gorilla tape. More recently talking about this guy here, T-Rex stuff, which is very good tape, but also tape like the one used by the illumination guys in TV sets and whatnot, using gaffer's tape. For those of you that are not familiar, gaffer's tape is, well, the guy from Tested called it duct tape that went to college. Basically a smarter version of duct tape. Why? Well, because it's rubberized on the outside, but also it can be removed and placed again time and again until it starts getting dirty, I guess, but without leaving a residue. That's the idea behind the gaffer's tape. The idea behind gaffer's tape is covering the cables so that actors and people don't trip on it, but at the same time, when I remove it, don't leave a messy, gluey goo that is harder to clean and remove. So gaffer's tape is very nice. Maybe the best gaffer's tape, at least as far as I know, is this one, Pro Tapes. Pro Gaff. This is very good gaffer's tape. And I found a number of situations in which I liked the idea of having gaffer's tape. So gaffer tape comes along with me in some of these rolls. It's nice. Gaffer's tape is definitely good, but it's not duct tape in terms of staying there permanently or not nearly sticking as strong as T-Rex. Now, this solution I came up with was the following one. After brainstorming this for a while, I came up with this. And you may adapt this to your different needs, whatever you use the most or whatever you feel is more likely to come in handy depending on your situation. Adapt it any way you see it. What I did was half orange 3M tape, right? Just a little bit of normal duct tape. And for smaller repairs, for smaller things, a little bit of this. And it's just like, what is it? Like this much? A little bit more like a nice little strip of this stuff here, especially if it's going to be about marking something or just a little bit of duct tape for some tiny little thing. This will get the job done. And then I have some gaffer's tape, all right? Some of the good stuff here as well. For the other things where I want to maybe stick it somewhere, but I don't want to leave the residue, especially if it's exposed to the sun or something that I don't want to mess with, gaffer's tape. And underneath these two, what I have is T-Rex. Gorilla would be my go-to quality tape, but the thing I like about T-Rex is that when you compare both of these, is that this is Gorilla, this is T-Rex. T-Rex is very strong, very sticky, but it's not as thick, right? This is good stuff for some repairs, but this is a little bit nicer for your lighter. You can wrap a little bit more of this stuff in a lighter because it's not as thick as Gorilla, and yet it is, of course, ferociously strong tape. So this is the solution I came up with. I think it's a nice idea, or maybe it's a little bit of food for thought and you doing what works best for you. Guys, as always, if you want to learn more about realistic survival and preparedness, which is what I've been doing for many years now, you have a lot of information already in the channel, and I strongly recommend my books as well, Surviving the Economic Collapse, giving everything you see happening all over the world with a mess that is the economy and what's to come, as well as Street Survival Skills, where it's full of practical knowledge, things that you learn over the years in different classes, self-defense, and yeah, a bunch of stuff learned over the years about practical, realistic survival. Guys, see you in our next video. Take care.